One. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. Hello. We have a great panel today. Ladies, I would like for you all to introduce yourselves, starting with Tavonna, Chantel, and Debra. Please say hello to everyone. Let them know who you are.
Hey, this is Tavonna. Glad to be back with you guys. I've been out for a couple weeks, but I'm glad to be back and I'm looking forward to a good show. Y'all make sure y'all engage with us in the chat and send us your questions and all that in the chat so we can answer those for y'all.
Chantel.
Hey everyone, this is Chantel. I'm Coach Sean's little cousin. It's a pleasure to always be on the show. And just like she said, make sure you share, invite, and also engage. Keep the questions coming.
Okay. Debra, say hello. Miss Jackson.
Hello, everyone. I have a train going in the background, so it might be a little noisy. This is Debra. Yes, share, like, subscribe to the show. Enjoy the show, please.
And Miss Jackson. Come on in.
Hola, everyone. It's Miss Jackson. So
Oh, you
yes,
loud and clear today.
like, share, subscribe, and enjoy the show.
Okay, we're going to jump right in because we have some listeners that have been anticipating this, right? Giving a little backstory, I was getting my head bit off over my analysis on that Tyler Perry movie, right? And I saw it from a different perspective. Yes, the dude was bad, but everyone that told me about the movie, they said, oh, she was a great wife and she was this, she was that. And I asked what made her a great wife. And I met silence, or they described her attributes as a person, but not as a wife. So saying that she has a good job, she had a nice house, she did this, she came up that way, her parents, blah, blah, blah. None of that expressed being a good wife. And being a good wife is not something that is generic because you have to be good to your spouse. So with that being said, one of the things that I noticed was, and this is an assumption of mine, the character was loyal to his family. His brothers were loyal to him. So his love language was loyalty. And if anyone paid attention, he was a loyal husband. He never cheated on his wife. He never even looked at another woman. He was verbally abusive. He was, and became physically at the end of the movie, but his language was not the same as her love language. So with that being said, I want to ask the ladies, Chantel agreed to go first and you all can decide on your order. I want to ask the ladies, do you all discuss with a man what your love languages are and what his love languages are? And when I say languages, I mean expressive and receptive, right? So take a minute and I want you all to begin by saying what your languages are. How do you express love? Like, what do you do, give, act that says, I love you? And how do you receive love? What can a person say or do to you or for you that makes you believe that this person loves me, right? And have you ever discussed it with your man to know what his love languages are? Because if not, you could be pouring from your language, which is not his, and therefore he's not receiving love. Although you're giving it, he's not receiving it, and we in turn do not feel love. So Chantel, I want to begin with you. Are you aware of what your languages are? How do you express and give love, and how do you receive? Please tell us.
Told you I didn't want to go first, but I'll go ahead and go first.
She sure did. Come on, see how this is right there. Don't even listen.
Tavonna
I
goes
was
first.
supposed to go first.
That's right.
Thank you.
Chantel's going to be closer. Tavonna will go
Correct.
first. Debra goes next, and then Miss Jackson disappear on us. Well, Tavonna
Yeah, she
got the end
did.
of the question. So Tavonna will go
And
first.
you know, and Coach Sean, I love how the way you gave another view of that movie. I know we're not here to talk about that, but you know you full of it. But go ahead.
No, we are here. And when we get done with this show, you all will realize that, you know what? My cousin's always right for real. But go ahead.
Oh my God.
Come here, girl, because I got time.
Okay. Please let me have it. Please. Okay. So Number one, because you asked like 8 questions. So first thing is, I think we have to be very clear on what the love languages are, right? There are 5 of them. And there are things that are encompassed in those 5 that people want to say, oh, this is a love language. Like you said, loyalty is a love language. That's not a love language. That's not one of the 5 love languages. However, loyalty can be encompassed within acts of service or words of affirmation can tie into loyalty. So first off, you have to know the 5 love languages, which are physical touch, quality time, gift, words of affirmation, and acts of service, right? So those are the 5 love languages. Now, as far as me, when you take the test, it will give you a ranking of what your love languages are. My top 2 are quality time and physical touch. And so
that is what you feel when you feel loved?
the love languages are just that. They're your love language. This is what I need.
What
Your
you need,
love
right. So that's how
language,
you receive love.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Right. Now, what you have to realize is the other person has their own love language.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only, you made it sound like you do have to give and receive, but I have to speak. I know my love language. So my partner has to speak it. And then I should know their love language, and then I speak their love language. That's how it's supposed to work. So if my partner's love language is gifts, then just because gifts is my number 5, it's his number 1. So he has to speak physical touch and quality time for me to feel love, and I have to speak gifts for him to feel love. And so it's very important that you know and understand your own love language and know and understand your partner's love language, and then commence to govern yourselves accordingly to speak each other's love languages.
I have a follow-up, right? So you're narrowing it down to an individual at a particular time. But
No, what are you talking about?
you're talking about knowing his language and how he receives loves. What if we're not talking
Correct.
about someone that you're intimate with or a partner? Just what are things that you do?
Then it does. Your love language is your love language. My love language is with everybody in my life. That is my love language. It's not just a romantic partner thing.
Right.
I need my children to speak my love language. I need my parents to speak my love language. I need my friends to speak
But how do you
my love
express
language.
love? We accept. I mean, you said you receive love through quality time and physical touch. Those are your top 2, correct?
Correct.
But
And how I give love,
yeah.
I give love in the way in which the other person needs it.
So
Because
that changes.
Because I don't need to give. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I have to know what they want. My son's love language is not my daughter's love language.
Their
Mr.
phone is
Pope.
breaking up. Yeah, he's in a bad area. So
Okay.
what I was asking is, in this case, that means you're flexible. That's great. You have a lot of love to give. And that is a great characteristic or a great character trait, that you are willing to be flexible and give love in a way in which it is needed by someone else. Okay.
I don't think there's any other way to do it. If you do it any other way, that's where the problem is going to come in. Because I cannot love somebody not how they want to be loved. You got to love people the way they want and need to be loved.
Ooh. Can I say,
But you to learn that, right? You're supposed to learn that as a woman.
repeat what you just said, Tavonna? Please repeat that.
I said I don't think there's.
Yeah, you're supposed to learn that. That's something you learn.
Mr. Pope.
I mean, you can't dictate.
Please. Let me put him on mute, please. Let me answer my question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I said was, I don't think there's any other way. You have to love each other the way I have to love my man the way he needs to be loved, not the way I want to love him. Because if I love him the way I love him, what is that doing for me? And vice versa.
I just have to give an amen.
You need a shorter clap.
Yeah, I
You
know.
need a shorter clap.
I had to give an amen to that, because what you just stated is what causes a lot of problems, right? People think that when you say, I loved you, this person, or I did that, they will say because of XYZ. Well, I did this, well, I did that, well, I did that, but you weren't communicating in their love language. And a lot of times, in both ways, men and women, men will say, man, I did this, I bought her that, I bought her that. Well, that was not her love language. So when you thought you were expressing love, you really wasn't. But go ahead, Deborah. Would you like to chime in? First
I'm
off,
a little
fellas, do you have
afraid
any
at this
follow-up
point.
questions for Tavonna? Damon, I see your mic is on. Do you have a question for Tavonna? If not, we're going to go on to Deborah. Go ahead, Deborah.
Okay, I'm just gonna set my fear aside right now. No, I'm just joking. My love language is, I mean, it's two that's on the list and one that's not, honestly.
Like Tavonna
You
said,
know, quality time.
it could be encompassed within those five.
It could, but I don't see how.
Or quality
But
time. Or what else?
quality time, physical touch, and communication for me is a love language. Like I have to be able to go deep with you. Like we have to be able to open up to one another, like past surface level. So that is very important for me because I'm not a surface level type of person. But I agree wholeheartedly with Tavonna in the event that just because those are my love languages, I also have to know that I have to have the capacity to love him in the way or in his love languages. And I have to be honest with whether or not that's something that I can do.
Mm.
Like it's not just saying that I can, you telling me this is what your love language is. It's me knowing that I have the capacity to be able to provide that on a consistent basis, to make sure that you are fulfilled in that manner. So I think it goes a little deeper than just, this is my love language. What can you do? You know what I'm saying? Or what can you give? Like it's going to require something a little more than just that. And for me, I feel like that's where the communication style and the communication level is very important because again, I can't do surface level with people. So especially not someone that I am trying to be intimate with, but even outside of that, even like with my family, even with my child, like I don't do surface. If we can't sit here and really go deep and have a conversation, I can't do this.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. What are some things that you have done that you felt demonstrated your love for someone else? Love language aside, just what are some things that you've done that you felt you were proving your love?
Definitely, like I am big on making sure that I try my best because I can't say that I always succeed, but trying my best to create a safe space. Like if you want, if you're having an issue or a problem or you're just feeling down today, just being that listening ear, not being, trying to be your voice of reason, not trying to be any of that, just trying to be that shoulder that you can come to, lean on, cry on, whatever, and there be no judgment there. That's my number one. That's something that I know I can provide no matter what because I love in that manner. Or you just anyways, but also showing up every day in every way, whether I'm tired, sick, whatever. I'm going to show up regardless.
Mm.
So, those are just some things. And when I say show up, I mean emotionally, I mean physically, I mean, supporting your dream, whatever have you, I'm going to show up.
So that is how you express. Have you ever sat down with a partner and asked their love language or done love language tests or just asking them different things?
Mm, no.
Okay. I mean, that's common. That happens a lot. And like Tavonna said earlier, do you now see how that can become problematic, but just often overlooked because it's something that we have not considered?
Very much so. Very much so. Like it's nothing that I ever thought to ask before. Again, that's why I
Well,
say this chat, this podcast has really opened my eyes to a lot of things, because before being a part of this podcast, I wouldn't have even thought to ask that, honestly. But I do now. Like I make, like I take note of the things that you guys say as men, and the things that you guys look at when it comes to us as women, and what you guys deem as safe, and what you guys deem as, like, where your capacity may lie with certain things, or where, how low it may be for certain other things, whatever, however. Like I pay attention to all of that, which, when I start dating again, these are all things that I am going to implement, because I understand how important they are. Whereas I
Right.
wasn't dating much in my younger years. So it wasn't, and that's more the issue, is I wasn't dating much. I wasn't having these, these relationships and all of these things. I didn't even have, excuse my French, I never even had a whole phase. So, like it's different for me, I feel, than it may be for some other people, because I have not experienced, the totality of relationships that a lot of other people have.
I'm sorry. Tavonna got me laughing,
I see
man. She
Savannah. I
cannot be
see you,
serious,
Savannah. I
man.
see you, Savannah.
Yeah,
It's okay.
we trying to be. So,
I'm sorry. That hurt my feelings. I want to give you a hug, girl. I want
okay.
to give you a hug.
Chantel.
It's okay. I'm actually okay with it. I'm very okay with it. But go ahead, Chantel.
Chantel, it's
Let's
on
hear
you,
you,
man.
girl.
I think Tavonna really, really, which I love when she goes first because she always hits it out.
Exactly. No copying of her paper. And that's why I switched the order and told her
Because,
to go
well,
on.
the thing is, she literally will say what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Me and my friends have had these conversations before. I discovered that 90% or more people try to love their partners from their love language standpoint, and that do cause problems in the relationship. Because if he is the someone who just likes the random gifts but doesn't need the words of affirmation, but you're giving the words of affirmation, but in his mind he feels like you're not this is what I went through with my last relationship. You understand? Like, I felt simple, I'm quality time, words of affirmation. He couldn't give that to me but he would give me gifts because that's what he liked. So we were bumping heads because we were trying to love each other or show each other that love from our own love language, which was difficult, and it just caused so many problems. For me, I think, Koshan, what you did was allow me to understand, like, if I get into another relationship, whenever that happened, this is like a healthy conversation. I don't think most people have the conversation of, hey, what is your love language? So I can know, so I can understand what you like, who you are, and things like that, versus assuming. For me, going through this stage of, like, singleness and healing, sometimes I question, have I really even loved anyone? Because, when I look at love and how it's defined, you know, I can't say that I loved off of conditions, and love doesn't have any conditions. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, we about to go deep on this one, honey. Come on,
So,
sit
Preach,
so
girl, preach.
Chantel, I always say that there's no love like a teenage love. And I
Mhm.
feel like as a teenager, when you experience love as a teenager, you have nothing but that person. So there is no conditional love. But once we get older, you're loved on conditions. You don't pay the bill on time. Now you can't eat. Where'd the love go?
Well,
You know?
and that's the
No,
thing.
but
That's
that's
not.
not. No. That's not where it went. Because that's no,
Like I
no.
said,
No. We can't do that, because the love didn't go nowhere because you can't eat. That ain't love. That's petty. That's not love.
Right,
that's what
right.
I'm saying. You agree with me?
They're not synonymous. They're not synonymous, and we got to be very careful about that, right? Because somebody's action or poor judgment in action does not equate or predicate their love, right? So if and I agree with you in terms of the conditionality of love, right?
Right.
And Chantel hit it right on the head, because 90% of people do not love unconditionally. Period.
I do.
Period. They don't. And the reason that they don't is because they do not have a accurate depiction of what love looks like, right? Because
Come on.
love is not just butterflies in your stomach and all that. That's infatuation. That's lust. That's all it. Love go way deeper than those things. And so when you have to love some people that have been married 50, 60 years, sit down and talk to them, because that's love. That's love, because they have loved them past the hurt. They have loved them past the infidelity. They have loved them past all of these things that have happened in that 50, 60 years. They still love each other.
But
So
y'all new model
when
women
you,
don't express it the same way.
well, it's not, no, that's, see, and here's the thing. There's no new model. The model, and here's the crazy part, right? The model actually has not changed, right? Because the model of what love is supposed to be, or to be able to endure, really hasn't changed. The people in it have, right? And how they go about it has. And I, just like Chantel says, question if you ever really loved, right? That's a, you really gotta go deep to be able to get to that point, right? You have to get to, you gotta be in a space where you're really healing to be able to say, wow, I've never truly loved. And I know for me, I can say I have only truly loved one time. I'm talking about truly love. No conditions. I don't care what they do. Don't matter. Like, one time.
And how old were
One
you
time.
when that occurred?
I'm uh it started when I was 31
Okay.
and has continued to today. I did, and that's the crazy part, because I done been married twice. I done, you know what I'm saying? All of this stuff, but that unconditional love is still there. And so that's how I know that all these other things weren't that, right? They were things that I wanted, or I thought that I wanted. They were things that I thought I should have or thought I should do, but they were conditional on every level, right? On every
Mm-hmm.
level.
Well,
Well, go
well,
ahead,
Sean, this
Chantel.
goes back to the way you broke down, and what she says is exactly where I'm at. Like, my friend, we were having a discussion and I was like, nah, I love them Negroes. I was like, I had loved them at one point, shoot, but when they had started doing this, then I was like, boom, that's when I stopped. But then I had to check myself, because I was like, no, because
You love
love
the
is patient.
conditioning. You're
Love
right.
is kind. Love is all, all these different things. So I had to tell myself, like, nah, like, you've been more in lust than you have ever been in love. You see what I'm saying? So
Lord,
when you go back to breaking down this, and that's the thing, like, nobody don't want to admit, but everybody has been, no, I don't think the majority of people have not experienced true love. It has all been on conditions, period.
Well,
But when you broke down that movie and when you said all that stuff at the beginning, the reason why I will say that she was a good wife is because she did show love. She was patient. She
but
was kind.
but
She was resilient. She endured when those people were at
okay,
the most
you're giving those are
disrespectful.
character traits. Those are character traits. And
Listen,
everybody gets consumed by the character traits, right? So, for example, like you have movie writers, right? It's a major, it's an art, it's a craft. And I gave an example of the show The Dukes of Hazzard. Many people watched that show for years and never knew that they were illegal bootleggers. That's why the cops were chasing after them on every episode, right? But we cheered for them. They had the nice car, and it's called an appeal to certain figures. These figures are created. They gain your appeal, and you cheer for them, right? When else would we cheer for two people outrunning the police every day? Everybody loved Daisy Duke. Why? The way she dressed, those skimpy shorts, and 40 years later, what do you call those shorts when a woman wearing them? What do y'all say she's wearing? A pair of Daisy Dukes, right?
mhm.
Uncle Jesse. This man was a bootlegger. And that is, all those a fictional show, but it shows the way the exact same thing happens. And just to go off a second, that show was mimicked after the Kennedy's life. That was their real story. Their old man bootleg wine from Canada and made millions of dollars. That's how the Kennedy amassed their fortune. The whole General Lee thing, they started the Daytona 500 because they would race cars on the beach, and the fastest cars are the ones that the Kennedys use to outrun the police to bootleg liquor. You can look up the documentary, look up all the information. So that's where the Dukes of Hazzard got the whole theme from. But you see how we started rooting for them? And I said that to say, in that movie, look at how they built the character up. Ava was glorified by all the women. She was attractive. She had the perfect upbringing. She was a track star. Daddy's the preacher, the nice house, the only child, the good job at the bank. She's living the life, right?
She wasn't glorified by me. So when you're ready to talk about why she was not glorified, let me know.
Yeah, cause your opinion's gonna always skew on the side of the men, but we're gonna address that later. But Chantel and 95% of the other women immediately shut me down. They defended this girl. They glorified
Man,
her.
first of all, I ain't going up on your post and I ain't defend no woman because I've been doing that with you. Like I say, you too highly intelligent. You got time for all this and I ain't gonna do that with you at all.
So what I want
You trying to confuse me with the Dukes and Hazzard and all this Kennedy and stuff. All I'm saying to you briefly, all I'm saying is, despite looking at her lifestyle, I see exactly what you're going with that. But all I'm saying is the little piece why I will say that she was good in a sense is because despite of all of the things that he was giving, she was doing her best to love him through it.
But how did she express love? What was his love language?
What does he really do though?
Yeah, what do you think?
What does he do?
Love language.
What do you think his love language was? What do you think it was?
I don't think he had one.
I don't even know if the man had one because the mama took her dress off in the funeral.
Because that's how he was portrayed though. That's how he was portrayed in the movie.
No.
Y'all listen, we understand that. So let's
how would you categorize loyalty under one of the 5 categories, right?
Right.
If you all had to pick one of the 5 love languages, what do you think loyalty would fall under? Would it be acts of service?
Loyalty would definitely.
Yeah.
So I feel like his character's love language was acts of service, right? The only people that showed love to him in his language were his brothers. When that guy came by to shoot him, what did his brothers do? With no hesitation, right?
But listen, it was.
So if that's his language, tell me one time she demonstrated acts of service.
Did she cheat on him while she was married?
She would have if Big Country didn't turn her down. She asked this man while she was married. She asked the guy to have sex with her.
Because you had to turn him down.
Yes, she asked the man while she was married to have sex with her in the back of a pickup truck outside. She lost all that bougie stuff. She asked this man, but he said no. He didn't want.
On the back.
Yeah, he didn't want to receive it that way. Like because she's mad, he didn't want to receive it that way. So he turned her down, but she was willing to go and cheat. And you can have a sexual affair. An affair does not have to include sex by definition. So she went back and had an affair while married. She was ready to have sex while married if this guy didn't turn her down. But again, all I asked was, when did she express acts of service, loyalty to her husband?
Right.
When? So if she never communicated love to him in his language.
Well, if you want to break it down that way, they both were in the wrong. Then they both didn't show love.
But let's not do the whataboutism. And like I said.
No, I'm saying let's be real. If you're going to break it down like that, then I can agree with you.
But you
if
didn't
you're
agree.
Break it down like that, I agree with you 100%.
But you didn't agree.
But she was asking him to respect her, and he refused to do that.
We gonna get to him, right? We all agree he had issues. He was wrong. He's bad. But the women have such a hard time identifying anything wrong with another woman or holding them accountable. It's always the man's fault. Why?
What I'm you? That's why I said, that's why I asked the question, because I did see when they were in the truck or whatever, but I didn't pay attention to her
Okay, that's
wanting
a
to
perfect
seduce
example.
him.
Let me look
So,
at this. In the
uh-huh.
truck, she went to the truck immediately after his brother's funeral, immediately after her father humiliated him at the funeral. He's out with his brothers. These are the people that show him love unconditionally. The chief definition of unconditional love. What does she do? Go to get him saying you got to get back to work, right? Her priority was benefiting herself. You're getting him, but what happened as soon as she received some trauma? As soon as he asked her for divorce, what did she do? She ran back to her safe space. She ran back to her parents' house, got in her bed like a little princess, eluded her husband and her marriage. She talked to her parents. She talked to the messy best friend. She called a job and told him she's going to be off for a week. Did she ever call her husband once? Never.
No.
She's trying to
Okay.
get bent over by Big Country in the truck.
Oh my God.
So
You focusing on the truck. Can I say something for a
yes, go
second?
ahead, please,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Here is my issue with Ava, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ava has the issue that many, 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 many women have, right? Ava was not in any way, shape, or form her own woman, right? Ava
Correct.
did everything
Her
that
parents were
somebody else wanted
100%.
her to do. Her parents, her husband, her everything, right? And if you watch the movie, the letter that her friend gave her that detailed all the things that he had done to her over the course of their marriage, he actually was physically abusive. When she had that scene with her mother, and her mother was, crying about what he had done to her. So, right. So there had been some physical abuse, and he put her head, you know what I'm saying? All of that. So, but the Ava's flaw for me, and just like so many other women, is the enabling, right? She enabled the bad behavior based upon what she clearly was taught that being a wife was, being loving someone was, sacrificing herself to stay in this with this person for whatever reason. She enabled all of that because if if you got a 4-page letter about all the things that somebody has done to you over the course of your relationship, that's that you should have been gone a long time ago. And in the movie, she actually admitted that that's what she did. She told her parents that I did what y'all told me to do. For all of my life, y'all told me how to be a good wife. Y'all told me I had to be a good wife. So if that is her upbringing, like so many other women, she stayed out of that sense of obligation. So you have two people full of trauma trying to be in relationship. That ain't gonna never work.
At least you are willing to acknowledge that she had issues as well. A lot of women do not see that, right? Now, here's the thing that we have someone saying that Dallas's family did not show a healthy love, but we're talking about his love language. If that is his language, that was how he receives love, right? So when they showed that to him, that's love to him. Love to Dallas does not have to look like love to anyone else, right? So we're talking about languages. Mhm. No. Go ahead. I'm here. We're just talking about languages and understanding why it is important to know these people, their love languages.
No, I agree 1000%. I do. I do. I just think I think Tavonna broke it down the best way. And I do agree with you. I think that we as women do not we see the worst in a situation, but we don't see, you know what I'm saying, where we could have went wrong. You know, that's the reason why I asked the question, because when I first watched the beginning, it's like, well, no, she giving him love, like she being patient, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm going to say love has no conditions, she should never put herself in a situation, no matter how bad it is, you know what I'm saying, to put herself in a situation to have any type of affair or cheat on her significant other, blah, 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 blah. But then at the same time, when you can see Dallas, his family showed him loyal, do you know how many men and women remain in relationships because they're loyal because of how other people have been loyal to them? But in reality, they don't want to be there. They just don't want to leave because you've been there for me, and now I feel I got to be there for you.
because that's their love
That's
language.
obligation. No.
That showed them
That's not
love.
a love language.
In their
No, that's
mind,
obligation.
they were shown love. But to some people, well, we could ask individually, but to some people, it feels like, man, you showed me love. That person showed me some love, dog.
No, it's
Or they showed me love.
obligations, Koshan. No,
That
it's
is
literally
a space of brokenness. And let me be very clear. You have to we gotta stop acting like trauma and brokenness is not a real thing
come
for
on,
men
sis.
and women,
Come
because it
on.
is. Okay? So being in these unhealthy things and calling it what it ain't is not helping anybody.
But
It is
we didn't
brokenness.
give an example of what the demonstration was. Like if a person showed somebody
Give a
some loyalty,
demonstration. We are giving a demonstration.
so you saying that can't be a language for a person?
The type of love
Yeah.
that Dallas's family was giving him. Even okay, let's just for the sake of argument say that his love language was acts of service and loyalty falls under the
Under
umbrella
active
of acts
service,
of
correct.
service. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So that's great. So they were showing him his love language
Mm-hmm.
in their way. That does not mean that it was healthy. You can give somebody their love language and it not be healthy.
No, we never said it's healthy.
Brokenness.
We never said it's healthy. We just said that his own wife never communicated in his
The
language.
own well, guess what? Guess what?
So she wasn't such a great wife if you're not loving your husband in his language. Remember the first thing you said.
I agree with that part.
Okay.
Her not loving him in his language is one thing. But
Right.
my thing is, honestly, up until the point of that they were separated, when she went back and got in the truck, they were separated. He had left. The divorce papers was already done. That doesn't make it right because
No, the divorce paper wasn't done yet. Divorce papers weren't done.
no, they were filed. They hadn't gone to the thing yet. She had already,
No,
gotten.
she hadn't signed anything. She hadn't signed
And
anything.
I just
That's what he
she
said,
didn't sign it.
Koshan. That's what he
I said she didn't sign them. I
So
said
she was
he was
married.
at the house. I just said she was legally still married, but they
Okay.
were separated. Okay. So based upon that, if you want to just go off of pure D, you shouldn't do this because you are still legally married. Okay, great. She was wrong. However, up until that point, I would argue that she absolutely showed him his love language because she was loyal and stayed with him through all the unhealthy things that she did. He had beat on her. And she was right there. So actually, she was giving him what his family had given because his family was doing the same thing. Did you miss the part where his brother beat his ass before they got in the car?
Exactly.
So this is what he was used to.
Come on.
That unhealthy, broken place, that's what he was used to. And he couldn't do anything but give her that. And all she did was enable it.
And
So
this goes
that
back.
that level of brokenness, that what that movie did, if anything else, it put a spotlight on what happens on a daily basis. Because that is the level of brokenness with those two characters that is running rampant in our community. And that is why Black people have the highest percentage of divorce rate of any other ethnicity. This is why.
Exactly.
And this is
all I'm trying
also
to say, that's all I'm trying to say, Koshan, is I'm going to be honest with you. And because if you look at what he went through with his mom and how angry she was, you see what I'm saying? Like, didn't it say in the movie that his dad beat his mom? I don't know. Maybe I can make that up in my mind. I don't know, but let's not say.
you didn't make that up. It is.
Okay.
They did say that. Yep.
So listen, so what at this point, there could be a possibility that he never knew what his own love languages was because he was so angry that he had to be loyal to that one woman, which is his mom, which is a question that I proposed to you a while back is, we ain't gonna go there because it's gonna go off. But men usually do not hold their mothers accountable for the brokenness that they have inflicted on them. That whole situation with them 4 boys, their mama was broken. Their mama was bitter. She made every single one of those boys pay for what their dad did to her. And if you see, he was the only one married and she couldn't even accept that. She didn't even like that for her son. She didn't even want her son to be loved.
But did
she
you
didn't even
hear?
want somebody to care for her son. So you saying that he liked loyalty? He was obligated to be loyal to his mother and his brothers when he didn't even really want it to be.
Okay. But
But this is
listen to
also
this.
really quickly.
Go
Really
ahead.
quickly, this is also why I said you have to know and understand if you even have the capacity to love someone in their language. Because if that was his language and I am with him and I see that this is not a language that I can speak with you in, then baby, I'm not going to be there.
And this is why the love language quiz, while y'all out here getting ice cream and asking about favorite colors, you better sit down and take that damn quiz week one. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be wasting a whole bunch of time trying to build a relationship with someone you can't even speak their love language and they can't speak yours.
And I
You
think
need to get that out the way quick, fast, and in a hurry.
early,
If you sit down and you take that quiz second date and you realize that his top love language is physical touch and you know you ain't touchy feely, baby, get on up
it's
out of
not
there.
going to work. Correct.
Get on up out of there. And we don't do that. And what we also do that is even worse. We some people will take the darn love language quiz, find out what their person's love language is, and then try to fake it till they make it.
Or try to change that person. They try to change them.
Or that. But the fake it till they make it is even worse, in
It's
my
worse.
opinion.
I
Because
agree.
if you know that that person's love language is gifts and you ain't got no damn money,
You're not going to keep them happy.
I was going to say that earlier. I was going to say that earlier. Girl,
where
you
you going with
cooking.
that?
And in contrast, sometimes we assume that gifts are an expression of love. It's for us, we're thinking that because that's our language. Oh, I bought this, I bought that. But if that's not that person's language, it's not an expression of love for them. But Chantel, I want to go back because, and again, I like this because of course, it's a movie, right? So we have some good dialogue. If you listen to what the mom
So
say,
you didn't see it at all?
who? Yes, I said it's fictional. I don't tell
Sean,
you.
before you go back to the movie, I wanna elaborate on what you just said.
Yeah.
You had when you like I have a perfect example. My number 5 on my love language is my husband bought me a Pandora bracelet
Yeah.
that already was fully full when he gave it to me. 13 something charms on it when he gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you I was so mad, right, to receive this gift. Because I was like, why would you buy me a freaking mortgage payment to put on my arm? That
But
made no sense to me. But
right.
but part of his love language was his number 2 was gifts. So once again, that was that projection onto me that, oh, I
Right.
can buy her this and that's supposed to make her happy when that ain't what I want. That I don't want this. I don't want it. I do not need a $1,500 Pandora bracelet to wear on my arm.
When I could be
That
getting
don't work
something
for
else.
me. I could have paid 3 bills. What I want with this? So again, and then if you tell somebody that you don't want that, then it's, oh, you don't appreciate me. You don't know. You knew what my love language was. However, you decided to do what you wanted to do.
You communicated in his language and not yours.
And guess what? Guess where it went?
Oh, yes.
Right on back.
But listen, we're not labeling good or bad. All I am saying is, although those are fictional characters, his wife did not communicate in his language. So she never showed him love. When his mom slapped the flower out of her hand, she told him what all that girl was going to do to him. And it was correct. He said to his wife, you do not love me, right? Because, and he didn't communicate well. When he saw those text messages of his wife at the darn country fair with Big Country, he should have confronted her. He should have asked her
But
about
so
it.
Sean, how can you say if loyalty
So
was
Sean,
part
can
of
you
his
just
love
jump on the top?
language? You're still not. You're not. But you
If your wife, if you
overlooked it.
get pictures of your wife out with
So
someone else, how is that
so
showing
her him
loyalty to him?
him so him beating on her and her saying ain't
We're not talking about the beating. We're talking about love languages only. See what you're doing.
loyalty. No. Listen to yourself. The loyalty. Do you? So it takes no loyalty to stay with somebody who done beat your butt. That ain't loyalty. That ain't part of loyalty. That
What
you
y'all are
ain't
doing
loyal
is
to him.
this is non sequitur, right? We're attacking his character.
Oh, no, we're not. We're talking about
Th-
her
No, this is an ad
So you
hominem
don't think
attack.
loyalty, no, you don't think loyalty kept her there? Her
This is
loyalty to him?
an ad hominem attack, right? Where you're attacking the person, right? You're attacking the person versus addressing the situation. Can you all give me an example? Like I'm saying is to him, what he looks for as loyalty, he said it and she never objected that she tried to do is change him. So he said to her, you don't love me because all you try to do is change who I was. So he obviously did not feel loved by her.
Oh,
Then you
I
go
got it.
home.
So the loyalty, that didn't count as loyalty because to him, it was okay because he was being him by beating her up. So her staying through the beatings, he didn't view it as loyalty.
Correct. He did not view that as
Oh,
loyal.
okay, great. Got it.
But that's just his language. So now he's saying he did not feel loved by her. He told her that. And again, when he said, hey, he told her, well, I want a divorce. He made a bad move by that because he didn't really want that. He said it. But he was like, man, you see, she didn't even try to argue. She didn't even try to fuss. What did she do? She went home and tried to get her booty in the air. So again, to him, you're not showing me any loyalty. I'm seeing pictures of you. Then immediately after the divorce, as soon as he comes in the house, you find another man in your bed. And she
First of all, it
told
wasn't
him,
his house no more. So
she
he shouldn't
told
have been
him,
there. He broke in.
although she was
You
lying,
skipping a whole lot of stuff. He broke in.
but again, that's an ad hominem. We're not talking about those things. We're talking about him expressing or receiving love. We're not talking about his character. Remove his character altogether. You're
Well,
focusing on the
after the
wrong
divorce,
thing.
she's not
After the
required
divorce, she
to
can
still
do
love him
it.
anymore.
We not
She's not required to show him his love
I
language
never said
anymore
she's
after that.
required. I never said any of that. Just listen to what I'm saying. We're talking about his perspective of what he's viewing as showing love. He felt like she never showed it to him. And when she said to him, although she was lying, she told this man that she had been sleeping with somebody else. She told him that she had been having sex with this guy and how great it was. So again, his perception is his reality. So we're talking about his reality, not the character that you all are attacking. That's an ad hominem attack, right? We're just talking about, did he ever receive or felt that he perceived that she loved him? No, she never demonstrated it to him in his language.
Okay, we're gonna agree on that. We're gonna say that neither one of them showed love in their love languages.
And as
Mr.
usual,
Pope
we
got
never
Mr.
said if
Pope got
women do
something.
anything wrong, it's always and him or because of him. Is
No,
all
I
of
don't
them.
agree with that. I think both of them were wrong, and I
But
think
we're
that
just addressing her right now. Can we talk about her?
no, I think she was wrong. I think she was wrong, and I said why. And at the end of the day, that is what it is. She did a lot of things wrong as well, and so what can you do about that?
And that's premeditated murder. She done provoked the man, come in there, pull the gun, kill this guy, but we not gonna
Okay,
talk
Coach
about
Sean,
that.
put Mr. Pope in the thing because you talking crazy. Come
No,
on,
that was premeditated murder. That's
put the.
crazy.
I've been in law enforcement a very
Talk
long time.
about, I got the
Not
bruises that I needed.
premeditated.
Yeah, I got the bruises that I needed. Then she makes that
Sorry,
call
not
and,
premeditated
and shoots, she
at
kills the
all.
guy. Okay, well, that's different. But my point is, and Tavonna, you said from the beginning why it is so important to know the love languages of the person that you're with, right? Because you could be pouring, thinking that you're giving them love, but they aren't receiving anything because that's not their love language. So that
Mr.
was
Pope,
just
you gotta call back in because you're not in the queue, bro.
because he did not feel loved, right? And I don't know, what do you all think her love language was? Anyone?
It's hard to
I
say
haven't seen the
anyone
movie,
into
but
her enough.
listening to I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I haven't seen the movie, but listening to y'all, she clearly wouldn't even know what her own love language was because of how she always moved for everybody else, per the way y'all put it. She did everything everybody else wanted her to do. So how could you possibly know what it is that you truly want and like desire when it comes to love?
Correct, and that goes back to you know people being on. A lot of people don't go on a journey to their own authenticity, right? They live the in the
what if somebody else is giving them or what somebody else expects, or you know what I'm saying? Because it's almost easier, right? It is extremely tough to go on a authenticity journey and then live in your authenticity in the world we live in today, right? Because so many people are rooted in societal norms and you know what I'm saying? All of this, and anything that doesn't fit inside the little societal box, a lot of people will shy away from. And so it's
Hey,
very hard for people to do that.
hey, Coach Sean. Hey,
All right, Terry.
sorry to jump in here real quick. I've been listening to you ladies jump all over Coach Sean for a minute. Trellis says in the chat room that she believes Ava's love language was words of affirmation. Now, Trellis, I would say I agree with you because Dallas had a different lifestyle with his brothers and his mother. And it seems that she wanted to take him away from that so he could have a better life. They could have a better life together. But for some reason, he diverted and went back to his mother and his brothers, which kind of caused some of the trauma. And Coach
Better for
Sean,
him
you
or
said
better for her?
to go back to his parents,
No,
go back to his
is
mother.
this better life, is it better for him or better for her?
It's better for both of them. For one, from what I
Mm.
got from the movie was, you know, his brothers and his mother were straight outlaws. So she tried to take him away from that lifestyle to be a more productive, member of society.
Mm-hmm.
But he reverted back to that. I guess after his brother got killed and he came back to town, first 5-10 minutes of the movie, you know what it's about. And you could tell the type of people they were in the first 10 minutes of the movie. So, I mean, could you like really speak against Ava for wanting Dallas to do better
No,
in
I'm not talking
life?
about her character at all. I'm really literally
Right.
talking about love languages and understanding where the confusion can come from.
Right. So that goes back to what Trella said. I agree that her love language could have been words of affirmation or under that umbrella of affirmation.
But if he doesn't feel loved, and he said it openly, and just having an understanding why,
Listen,
and like I said, he's a fictional character, but I'm just saying it
right.
so that women themselves can see that although you're doing things that you view as love
But you got to do it in a guy's love
in
language so
his
he can
language,
understand it.
and why he doesn't feel like, okay, I'm
Right.
being loved. And that goes vice versa.
Right.
Guys think that buying gifts is automatically showing love when women want you there. They want to spend time with you,
Right. Right. Okay. Well, so, we in agreement then. That
Yeah,
goes
we
both
do. We
ways.
do.
We
We
need
have a
we need to
question.
we need to
Chantel,
speak in each other's love language. Go ahead.
take a body. Do you know what type of thugging that family is to take a body out of a casket? But again, I believe in looking at causal agents, right? What caused her to tell them to take the body out the casket?
Man, Coach Sean, nobody ain't feel like being intellectually right with you today. Just go with the flow, man. Go
No,
on.
no, we gotta address that. What caused her to say take the body out the casket? So y'all
No,
just gonna
it was
ignore the
she was
pastor?
definitely triggered. I can
Yeah.
honestly say that the way the pastor went about it, he could have definitely preached a sermon in a sense to make other people look at giving their life to Christ versus deeming this person to hell because we don't know his last minute and all that kind of stuff
I'm
like
back.
that. So I agree. I agree 1000%. But still, do you know what type of thing you got to be to pull a body out of the
And
casket?
according to the same Bible that he claimed to read, hell ain't even open yet. Everybody's idle.
Right, right.
Yeah, they idle, waiting.
Wait on the trumpet
Well,
being.
okay, y'all.
Yeah, they waiting on that. They wait. So,
Y'all
hey,
already
listen.
know. You already know they ain't reading the Bible in true
Hey,
context. So
that's
we
a
ain't gonna go
topic,
there.
cool.
Right, but I'm just saying, you putting the man in hell. What do you expect the mother to say? Now, she went extreme and with pulling him out the casket. But again, that started all of this. He gets a pass. He's holier than thou. But you're trying to hook your daughter up, getting mad at the dude, talking about that's all the game you got. You pimping your daughter out now. But we're not going to address that. We're not going to address that. But again, ladies, I just wanted you all to see the importance of knowing that love language. And Tavonna, From now on, you're going last because I'm tired of your responses being plagiarized. We cool on that? Tavonna? I guess she's,
I thought she left.
no, she's here. What's going on?
She here. She might be on mute.
Well,
Everybody is sounding kind of muffled. I'm not sure what's going on.
okay. Well, we good on it over here. So now, ladies, how many of you have asked your man what his love language is? Just come straight out. And this is for our callers and live listeners. Please type it in. Everybody that's here. How many of you have ever asked your man what his love language is?
Me.
Not many.
No responses yet.
Well,
Yeah,
I told y'all I
yeah, I
didn't.
know.
I didn't, but I plan to in the future. So, you know.
You see
And
that
Coach
phone call?
Sean,
Yes, ma'am.
I think is great to take that love language, but what you also have to do, that love language quiz is not a one-time shot.
Right. It
It
changes.
needs to be repeated
Mm-hmm.
multiple times, at least once a year. Because again,
She said once a year.
once a year.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's crazy. People don't change that
Right.
often. You're the only person
Yes,
that
they
changes
do.
that much.
No, that's not true. Listen to me. If in January, right, you are doing this and doing that, and then in June you lose your job and have financial issues.
And
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 then
that's
in
and that's
December,
that's that.
hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Let
let
me
us
Go ahead.
finish.
finish.
Go ahead.
Hold on. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
in
Go ahead.
December, your mama dies. You are going to go through some serious changes where your needs, want, desires, all of that kind of stuff can change. So you need to do that again because maybe now after all of those things happen,
So,
maybe where you didn't want physical touch as much before, you might want and need that now.
Mm-hmm.
hey, cool.
That's why.
Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, check this out. Check this out, Tavonna. That's why I came on this one, right? Because all that happened to me in 1 year. Like all that, everything you just said. But my mama didn't die. My uncle died. You see what I'm saying? He just died a little while ago. So, like all that happened in 1 year. So but the whole thing is, y'all as women supposed to evolve with us, right?
Everybody's supposed to be
What you talking
evolving
about?
together. Everybody's supposed to be evolving. So the whole y'all, women, everybody in a relationship should be evolving together. That's the part of a partnership.
And people are not
Right,
going to
right, right,
evolve and
right.
change at the same time.
No,
But
exactly.
you just said that. You just said that though.
No, she didn't
No,
say
I did
everyone.
not.
She didn't say
No,
everyone.
I did not. I said that you're not going to change at the same
That's
time.
fine.
If we
So,
took the
but
love
that
language quiz
it's
together
only 12.
in January,
Right.
Okay,
listen to
I'm
me.
listening. I'm listening.
If we took
I'm
the
listening.
love language test together in January, in June you lost your job, in December you lost your mama, ain't nothing changed for me. Something changed for you. So we're not going to always change at the same time. We're not going to always evolve together. That's not going to happen. The world doesn't really work like that because what changes me and what changes you can differ at different times.
So we still evolving, but it's all at different times. I agree. And this is when love steps in because you're patient with someone on their journey. So, like she's saying, you going through all this, trauma with losing somebody back to back, losing your job and all these things happening. You know what I'm saying? I might be patient with you through that, but that's not happening to me. So how can you expect me to really be like,
And sometimes you have to be realistic, right? So if, like I just said, I named all of those things. We took it together in January. My love language was physical touch and quality time. Yours was whatever. But then by December, now your love language has changed to physical touch. But because of what so now we both have physical touch. So maybe now our relationship is going to look different because now maybe instead of, when we go out, you was only holding my hand because I wanted you to. Now you're grabbing my hand and I'm looking like, ooh, this is nice too. You see what I'm saying? So again, but you have to be able, but that's the good side of it. What happens when the love languages change and the other person can't do it? Right? What if I don't have the capacity to give you words of affirmation? Right? What if I'm still going to counseling and going through whatever and I don't have the words of affirmation? Is hard for me. It is hard for me to tell you, baby, thank you. Baby, you did a good job. Baby, you look good today. Maybe that's a struggle for me. And if you need that, what happens when I can't give it to you? What happens when I tell you, oh, you took this again and now this is yours, babe? I'm gonna try my best, but I don't know if I might not hit the mark. Can you deal with that?
He starts getting it from the girl at Dollar General.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay, there you go. And
Thank you.
exactly what
Thank you.
happened.
Thank you.
That's
Well,
exactly what
and that's
happened.
exactly what's gonna happen.
Now I want to say,
But do you see the flaw in that?
yeah,
Do you
that's
see the
wrong.
flaw in that?
I'm
It
being
is not right.
joking, y'all. I'm bringing
Excuse
you.
me, Tavonna.
Give me a second, y'all.
Okay.
I want to begin by saying again, I agree with you 100%. I took the test when I started dating my wife. We took it again, and like Tavonna said, you have life experiences that change what's important to you, right? My mom was murdered. So at that point in time, that's someone that showed me unconditional love. I'm talking about I get expelled from school. I go to court. I don't care what. I can call from prison. My mom is going to answer my call. The day I get out, she's going to bake a pie for me. That's unconditional love, right? When she left, she's no longer here. Money meant nothing to me. So a person buying gifts for me means nothing to me, right? Because and it depends on what did you even do to get this money. So when you look at receiving gifts, at one point that may mean something if a person made sacrifices to do it. But when you lose something, someone very close to you, and you have experiences that make you reevaluate life, now your love language changes. And if that person is not pouring into you in that way, you can feel like you're not loved. You can feel like you're not loved. And also you become vulnerable because when you're going through these things, you may have someone that is very kind and considerate and, and start to reach out and check on you, right? And if you aren't careful, it's going to look like, wow, this person loves me more than my own spouse or my significant other because they're showing me love through my language. That's not right, but we're just saying why it is
But that's what
important.
happened.
And that is exactly what happens. And I agree, Tavonna, like you said, it should be done on a consistent basis. And especially whenever someone experiences some type of traumatic experience, you lose a job, you have death in your family, something happens and it's like, wow, I really appreciate this person. They showed me.
You got to reevaluate.
You have to read.
So traumatic experiences is supposed to build character.
It does.
Right.
It does. It does.
Tavonna, please mute yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
So now,
I'm
again,
talking about within a relationship, not.
right, it shows who's there for you. But again, is that their language and can they communicate it in that way? And you have to also understand, is this person, do they communicate well? Was this person considerate before that traumatic experience happened? So is it fair to them to flip on that person or view them in a different way if they didn't possess that character trait prior to? You know what I'm saying? We sometimes assume that, hey, I would have done it for you. You should do it for me. And we hear people say, hey, you got to stop expecting you from other people. Again, like Tavonna said, sometimes people just don't have that capacity and they really don't. So we cannot expect that.
But then again, you have to know yourself also. Like I know me. Like I'm very self-aware, and I know I ain't got the capacity to do certain things. So don't ask me to do it because I ain't. And so, but I'm upfront about this, right?
Right.
Don't expect me to do X, Y, and Z. If you need X, Y, and Z, I am not your girl, right? Period. Because what I'm not gonna do is overstep myself or overextend myself trying to make somebody happy when now I'm struggling because I ain't want to do this.
Right, right. Well, I agree. I
You know?
agree.
Literally,
So
Tavonna, I literally just told my best friend on the phone this morning the same exact thing, that I told myself that I was no longer going to do things to make other people happy when in reality I wasn't happy myself. If I
amen.
can't do it, I'm not going to do it. That's just where I'm at in my walk. No, I'm not fit for that because that ain't what I can do, and what you giving ain't, I don't need it. So hey, no, I'm not gonna make you happy and I'm unhappy. No.
And that is important too.
Unfortunately, that is, but a lot of people do that, right? And then that's how you get to, like Coach Sean said, the girl at the Dollar General, right? Because you're not being honest. The lack of honesty kills so much. It kills so much when you
Yes, sir.
are not honest. That is a fatal flaw, to not be honest.
Right.
When you are not being honest, because the first thing is, in order to lie to somebody else, you got to lie to yourself first.
Come on. You
Mm.
better say it.
Okay. So if you have no
Yes.
problem lying to yourself, I'm sure everybody on this call love themselves more than they love anybody else. Right. So if you ain't got a problem lying to you, who is somebody else?
They
Of
don't
course
stand
you're
a
gonna lie
chance.
to them.
Right, right.
Of course you are. Why not? Because you don't love yourself enough. And that comes from a journey that a lot of people are not willing to take, right? A lot of people are not willing to take that ride on that on that boat to that level
Honest with
of
themselves.
authenticity is not something that a lot of people can do. It's people walking around here right now just living their best life.
And sometimes they just really don't know. I think a lot of people have never taken the test to know what their love language is. A lot of people don't know.
Right
Um,
there.
and what I asked earlier is a lot of times we communicate in a language that we think it expresses love to us, but that doesn't necessarily express love to the other person. And they don't mind with me sharing this. I interviewed a couple last night. They have been married for 14 years, been together about 20 years, and they had never taken this test. They'd never had this discussion with one another, and we did over dinner last night. And he said that the thing that she did that made him feel most loved happened 19 years ago when he had kids prior to the marriage, and she asked for his kids' birth dates, and she remembered those dates and bought gifts for his children. You know, he spent his career in the military, so he took care of his family himself. He never had he doesn't have any sisters, all brothers. So he had never had anyone to like throw a party for his kids or anything like that. So that was the first time that an outsider did something for his children, and that was the greatest expression of love to him. And she never knew that after 20 years until last night. So the things that she was doing that she felt was proving love was not being received by him as an expression of love. So I think that is very important to the ladies that want to make their relationships work or that want to know what's important to men. Please ask or find out what their love languages are.
And men need to ask us too. Shoot. I just tell you, that boy been trying to buy me gifts and I ain't what I want, but that's what he wanted. Shoot.
Well, we do. I mean, men, of course, this goes for you all as well. We make a lot of poor assumptions and we think that gifts, and when I was young, I like physical touch. So, but I learned as I got older that some women aren't like that. They don't like all that touchy feely stuff. They don't want to be kissed. They aren't used to cuddling for whatever reason. They don't like that. That's not their loving.
But, sexual assault runs rampant, and
Right, right, for whatever reason.
like that or what have you. So,
But hey,
yeah.
I don't bash that. What I've noticed, ladies, and please work on this. Whenever there's something like that from a man, we label it as something negative, right? And sometimes men receive that as a personal attack. But whatever the traumatic experience was, and to cause it, and I don't think it's a traumatic experience because everybody just probably doesn't like physical touch. I mean, for whatever reason. we would assume that people like to be
I
hugged,
need to be touched, cool.
hugged and cuddled. See,
That's my love language.
do you communicate that with your significant others?
Always.
Okay.
Did you put an S on the end of that? Significant others? I'm just asking.
Yes. I
Yeah,
meant,
Oh.
yeah.
I meant
Cause he
not at
know
one
me.
time. I mean over time, not like right now. I
Okay.
meant,
I thought there was, which
significant
is fine,
others.
sir.
No. Like over time, like past relationships in general. Yeah, I would.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Not at one time.
No, not at one time. Like, has he always communicated that? Like, hey, I like physical touch. I've always done that. Like, I like physical touch.
But again, this is a level of honesty and knowing, being self-aware that you have to have. And I'm not sure who said it because I wasn't looking at my phone. It sounded like Chantel that said about the trauma that can
Yes,
cause that.
yes.
Again, men and women, we have to be able to explain that to our significant other. That, hey, if you do this, if you touch her like this, or if you do this, it's a reminder of this. So that way they know,
That's
right? Because a lot of times, yes, that's the trigger.
I agree. Chantel typed in as well that she agrees with that. And we find ourselves stuck. So what do? How important is love language for you all in the grand scheme of things? When we think about these boxes, right? And we have 10 boxes, 20 boxes that this person checks off. How important is love language?
Like she said, it should be something that we do on our first date instead of me telling you that I'm a Cancer and my favorite color is navy blue and I like going to church on Sunday. Like, no, let me see what you like and let me see if I can give that to you. And if I can't, this is the time where I need to remove myself so you can look for or find what's going to please you. Cause what we see is a lot of people are in relationships not happy. They just obligated to each other for whatever reason because nobody
Right, the
understands
emotions.
each other likes or want.
Well, maybe you sacrifice because you love someone, or you like. If I like
Go
14,
ahead, go
if
ahead.
I like 14 things about you, and the one thing is, okay, this person likes physical touch. I'm not really, my parents didn't really hug on me, kiss on me. I'm not into that. Do you think that person could say, well, you know what? I'm not going to miss out on a great person. They check 14 out of the 15 boxes. I'm not going to end this relationship for that one thing. Do you think that could be the case?
You better end that relationship
Right.
for that one thing.
Why though? Why? So listen.
I think
Go ahead, y'all go ahead.
you better.
Yes, I do believe
You better.
yes.
Because at the end of the day,
So
right now,
Tavonna,
that's why
let me ask you a question. So if you check one box out of 15,
without it,
Hold on, Pope,
I don't
hold on a
care.
minute.
That's why I'm divorced right now, because I wasn't going to continue to deal with deal with someone who could not give me what I needed and wanted. Period.
Hey, Tavonna. So if the one box you like check and the other 14 is not checked, how that work?
It
So you
works
go for
because
one out of
if
15?
that, sure, absolutely. Because if the one is my most
Oh
important,
my God, that's the most
listen to
craziest,
me.
that's the most craziest thing I ever heard.
Listen to why. If the number one box is something that I know for sure I cannot live without, and the other 14 are just like, yeah, okay, I like that, but yeah, it's not that serious. Just so I'm supposed to go with it's not that serious and go with my major need being unmet? No, sir. No.
One
I
out of
respect that. I
15?
respect that. So,
No.
Pope,
You
we have
gotta
to
understand
respect
that.
this.
No.
You got
Hey, cool, check this out, cool. So
not
what if that,
really listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
He
got,
not
listen to
really
what
listening.
she's saying. Pope, this is
He
what
not
she's
really
saying.
listening.
no, cool, I am listening because I'm trying to figure it out.
So what she's saying is what's
If you
important to
trying to
her.
figure out, you ain't listening, boo, because I was very clear.
She put what's important. She should be important to her, right? So let's say 15 boxes, right? The one that he does check is her love language, right? That is most
Right,
important to her.
I hear
She
that.
feels like the other boxes are just, stuff that girls.
No, cool, check this out,
Yeah.
check this out, cool.
Uh-huh.
So what if her whatever top love language is, right?
Yes.
So what if he goes out and cheat on her? How that work?
He
So
doesn't.
that love language ain't gonna be the same after
Yeah,
he
What
cheat on
what
her.
does that have to do with what I said? What does that have to do with the
Yeah, she
question?
does-
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, she doesn't care. That's not what she said.
Well, Tavonna, I think Pope done already said since the beginning he is the youngest person here on the stage. So, you know.
I don't think he's understanding. So let me try again. So listen
Okay.
listen
Yeah.
listen a little closer.
I'm listening. I'm listening very well.
Okay. Now, there are things that are priorities, correct? You have wants and you have needs. So if you give me 15 boxes, the first one is my need and the
Right.
other ones are my wants. If
Right.
you can fulfill my needs, I don't care nothing about you giving me 14 wants.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that comes with maturity,
It
relationship.
do. It comes with maturity. It comes with self-awareness because again, my love language is physical touch. If you ain't doing that when I want you to do that, I don't want you. Period. And that it ain't nothing I can do with that.
Well,
I don't care about nothing else you do. I don't care about nothing else you do. That for me ain't happening.
I guess that do make sense, but man,
What?
So,
But
makes
what?
sense.
Where's the but?
folk, you have to think
I'm
about one, that's her and her preferences, right?
right.
So, and I agree because I'm at a point where, hey, and people are joking because I made a Facebook status about this. Everybody's joking, saying they know my love languages, right? So I've had people trying to be mean, making comments or saying different things. Or people talk
So,
about
Cole, what's your love language do?
my love language.
You said physical touch, right?
Acts of kindness was first.
Okay.
Acts of kindness.
Right.
Physical touch
Right.
actually was not high on my list when I did the test, but I like
That's number one for me.
see, I like kindness. But acts of
And
kindness,
then affirmation comes next.
no, I know acts of kindness was my first.
So if physical touch is your number one and words of affirmation
I'm a right.
is
Yeah, I'm listening.
number
I'm
two for you.
listening. I'm listening.
So you're
I'm
telling
listening.
me that you're going to be willing just because a girl got money or if she can buy you stuff or she can do whatever, but you ain't going to never have sex with her? You can only have sex with her once a month because that's all she feel like doing? You going to stay with her?
No,
I'm
hell
listening.
no.
I'm
Cause
waiting.
I need
I'm
no.
waiting.
That's my physical touch is my physical touch leads to sex like 95% of the time.
Okay, so that's what I asked.
And I
I'm
love
asking you a
sex. You know what
question.
I'm saying? So
Well, I'm asking you a question because you couldn't understand how I would take 14 over. The one over
okay.
the 14.
Now, see, I didn't understand. I mean, I didn't understand because you didn't see that.
I
You know
did
what I'm saying?
say that.
Now you are saying that. You know what I'm saying?
We caught it the first time, Devonna, but
I said it two
focus
times.
coming. Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah, I gotta know.
You
You gotta
worth the
tell
wait,
me a
baby.
word.
You worth the wait. We'll wait on you, honey. We'll wait on you. But
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
say it.
You gotta tell
He
me a
just
word.
needed it in love layman terms. He just needed it in
Right.
love layman. That's
Right.
it.
You know what he needed it
Yeah.
in? No. You know what he needed it in? He needed
Right.
it. He needed me to give it to him. But he couldn't get it when it was about me. But when I gave it to him being about him, it made perfect
And he
sense.
received it. Correct.
That's how relationships work. Though.
No, it's not. Because that's
Okay.
how relationships don't work. Because if you are only able to see someone's point of view through yourself,
Well, that takes
baby,
Okay.
time.
there's an issue.
Devonna. That takes
That makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense.
it takes time and experience to learn to view things and become more sympathetic. You know, you can't be empathetic if you haven't experienced it, but we all, like he said in the beginning, and this my big Neff right here, you know, and I thank you for joining us and coming in with us. But everybody here is a little older. They're old, not me, but we've experienced a lot more life than he has. We've experienced a lot more relationships than he has. So we're looking at it from a different perspective. And when you get older and you have life experiences, you start to value certain things, Pope. And that's one of the things that we've all
Right.
discussed. It's like,
Right.
you know what? I'm at the age right now where I'm thinking about retirement. We put kids through college, XYZ. So checking on the phone who you texted and all that foolishness, what
That
you
don't even make a difference.
yeah, exactly. We don't have time for none of that crap, bro. And they joke about what the way to my heart. If I come in the house and dinner is cooked,
That's all. That's it, right?
hey, boy, you can have anything. You can have whatever you want. And all I need is peace.
But that's acts of service right there.
Acts of service. And that's what I said. That's my
That's
love.
number 3, and that's number 3. That's number 3 for me.
See, that was one for me. So as long as you're showing me acts of service, man, look here. One day I was running late. Somehow I was running late for work. I jumped up to hop in the shower. When I got out of the shower, my wife had ironed my clothes, put it on a hanger. She had my cologne, my watch, my ring. She had everything laid out for me. Man, I wanted to buy her a new car.
And everybody said you felt like the most special guy, right?
Listen, man, I was king of Zamunda. I was a king of Zamunda. So, and it comes down to that person's language, and that is why it is important to know the love language of the person that you're with. You know, because we'll say, before I took the test, I always thought that, I showed you I love you, I showed you I love you, but I was showing in my language, not theirs, you know?
Right.
And of course, our life experiences. So back to the couple that I spoke to last night, the guy talked about the one time he felt loved, but he also said his expression of love was through gifts, right? He shared that he grew up really poor. Holes in his clothes, worn sneakers. So he really values his money because he spent his career in the military. He's been to Iraq and all this stuff. So his money was hard earned. So he felt like if I'm sharing my money with you, I must love you.
Yeah, you were very special.
You're very special. But in contrast, she's a nurse practitioner. She has a nice house. They've acquired a lot of things. So for her, time is very valuable for her.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you care about the money and the gifts. It's nice. Thank you. But those gifts go off on the shelf, like Tavonna said about that bracelet. Like, are you kidding me? Like, let's put that money in the bank and we can go hang out at the park or do some other things with that money. So sometimes signals get crossed. And again, tying back into communication, because that's the premise of the entire show and why we need to communicate. And Chantel, I'm gonna always come back to you. Ava did not express love in his language. And
I agree with you, Coach Sean.
We're
I just
definitely
want to
not
agree
going
with
back
you.
to that.
Coach Sean, I want to agree with you so we can move forward.
Yeah, we're definitely not going back to that.
I'm teasing. So again, you all, first date, you got to talk about these love languages and also the importance of being open and honest.
Yes.
And on a serious note, Chantel, I don't know if you remember, Debra, you may have remembered, what are one of the things that the men said was the ultimate sign of betrayal?
Disrespect, right?
Not disrespect.
You talking about on one of the previous shows?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was always
Hold on,
disrespect.
Give me about 2 seconds.
We said the ultimate sign of betrayal was sharing their secrets.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you did. Yep, you did. That was actually was that last episode?
We talked on about 3 episodes. We talked about why it's so important when you share a guy's secret, and Terry's here, Damon, Tank, all the guys, even Jermaine and the other guy that was here from New York. When you share a man's secret, he shuts down, right? You're no longer his safe place. Do you all agree or understand why?
I can understand why.
Now,
I understand why 100%. Yeah.
and I'm being serious with this now. I'm tying this back, and I like using the fictional characters because I don't like addressing people that aren't here. Remember when that guy broke down and was crying and he wouldn't speak to his wife? And we felt like, oh, you there for him, and he wouldn't open up. We shared that earlier. Everybody saw that side, right? You know what I saw? She'd already betrayed him. He's not going to open up to you because everything that happened, you told your messy friend. So once you've broken that bond, you are no longer his safe place. So if your husband cannot confide in you without everything being shared with your girls, you like build a wedge in your marriage. He's not going to open up to you. He's not going to share these things with you because you're taking it, running it to your friend. And in contrast, everybody's calling that girl her best friend. She was messy. Why did she know everything about you, but you didn't know her husband cheated? Ava didn't know that, right?
Yeah, she didn't talk that.
She didn't talk that. She didn't write a note of that. She didn't send that to her parents. You see what I'm saying? But she made sure Ava's mom found that. So that's not
I
a
went through
best
that too,
friend.
Coach Sean.
That's a messy friend.
But Coach Sean, I think that we
Positive for that
also,
girl. She
Coach
got her,
Sean,
she gave her drugs to get her high so she could sleep with the dude. She was just messy. But what I'm saying is, it's tying back to a male's perspective right now. This ain't something for debate or to attack him. We don't need attacks on him again. We're just showing you from a man's perspective what all of the men agreed was the ultimate sign of betrayal is when his significant other is no longer a safe space. So if your man shares something with you and you want to tell it to somebody, tell it to God, write it in the Bible, do whatever. Because if that ever comes back to him, you're no longer his safe place. Now the girl at Dollar General getting all this time.
yeah, until the girl at Dollar General see the reason why the previous woman going back and tell her friends his secret, then it'll be the same cycle over and over again.
Again, you bashing the man. That's ad hominem.
Yeah, unless I agree with you 100%. And I've been there with I'm telling you, like me and separating myself from my ex, I learned a lot on where I went wrong as a woman. You see what I'm saying? So that I cannot disagree. I agree that when you no longer become their safe space, they don't trust you.
They're gonna
They
find
don't
it
trust
somewhere
you at
else.
all. And there you might as well, I feel, leave because at that point,
Yes.
there's no way to even try. Like it's easy for women to a certain extent to kind of build trust within a man, but when men lose their trust within women, it's hard. You waste time trying.
No. Nope. We can't do that because healthy is healthy and unhealthy is just unhealthy. That is not a man-woman thing, right? So to be hurt,
But it
no,
is.
it's not. But well, no, it doesn't have to be, right? And that's the problem. The fact that we lie on that and we lay in that and we sit in that and we let that be the caveat is the problem. It does not matter. If as a man you get hurt, you need to heal from that hurt. If as a woman you get hurt, you need to heal from that hurt. And to keep saying, oh, well, it's a man and men can't do it that way. Of course they can. It's a choice. And it's also, it can be cultural. It could be just societal. It's a lot of things that contribute to that. However, to say it can't be done because I'm a man is a lie. That is the fallacy. And
you know what? And guess what, Tavonna? I'll stand corrected and I 100% agree with you. I agree. Hurt is hurt and we all can heal. 100%. Because if I can heal through something that you did to me, then what makes it so hard for you to try to heal through something I may have done to you?
Huh?
And I can tell you what it is. It's a
No, hold on. Let me say that one more time because folk didn't understand what I'm saying. If it's easy, if my significant other did something to me and I was able to forgive him, heal through it,
And you just got back there?
and I no.
Okay.
No. I can't heal and then go back and do something. Then I ain't healed. You see what I'm saying? So if I've healed, if you cheated on me, I forgive you, right? And we working past that. But let's say once I told my friend that you had cheated on me at the time when I was angry and upset, and somehow it got back to you. And now you feel like, oh, I can't trust you no more because you going back and tell your girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm still with you, working through the fact that you already cheated on me, then why can't you look past the fact that I did tell my friend one of your or our deepest secrets? Why you can't
carry different weight? They carry different weight. So
Yeah, right. That's a
it carries different weight. It's a whole different thing.
But see, this goes back to what Tavonna said. We sit up here and we wave we try to make excuses for it.
Hurt is not hurt.
That's not equivalent though.
Yeah,
I feel like that's not
you're
equivalent.
saying hurt is hurt, but that's not
That's not a
An example, y'all. It's a goddamn example.
That's not a
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. So it is not different type of anything. And I say this, Coach Sean, like if you cheated on me, that if you're gonna compare the hurt, the only thing that's being hold on.
Talk. Go ahead.
The only thing that's being hurt on your end by me telling my friend is your ego. because or what you deem is your reputation, because now someone knows that you are not maybe this stand-up guy or this, whatever, however.
No,
But there's no way that was what's in the actual act of you cheating on your woman.
no, no.
That because someone knows now you can't trust me.
Deborah, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. We're talking about from a male's perspective. It doesn't have to be. It's nothing at all related to an ego. If I'm being vulnerable, right? You want these
Thank you.
emotionally
Your
available.
most vulnerable state.
A man is being vulnerable with you. Share
A man is being
his
vulnerable.
mom is dying of cancer or something, or he has something private that he shared with you, and you betray his trust and share. That has nothing to do with his ego at all. It's about
No,
you
that
running the mouth.
doesn't. But
So
with the
now,
example that was being given, it did.
no, we didn't give an example. We just said the
She did
ultimate
give an
betrayal.
example.
Give an
Hold on.
example.
Hold on. Yes. Chantal had just said, if you cheat on me and I tell my friend that you cheated on me in my moment of hurt, and then you find out from someone else that, that she knew that you cheated on me, and then you come back and you say, oh, I don't trust you now because I can't heal from the fact that you put my business out there, basically. That is all ego.
Oh no, yeah,
That is
that's a
nothing
terrible
but
example.
ego.
Yeah, that's a terrible example. That's not what we're referring to in the midst
Oh
of,
my God.
yeah, being vulnerable and sharing
In
stuff.
your example, Koshan, even in your example with you being vulnerable and you opening up to your significant other and she says something, even if
But
you did something to me, if you did something to me that hurt me, it's hurt. It just looks different. It's still a hurt.
But it weighs different. That's
But let's
but
yeah,
but
it
let's
does,
no no
man.
no.
It does.
So let's do this.
It
Hey,
affects
let's do
people
this.
Because women
differently.
want men to be emotionally available, right?
But listen,
Oh,
I think
Jesus Christ.
the words are being used wrong, right? Because you got to be very careful with the words. So right word here,
But
If I tell you,
all right,
if I
I'm
tell
gonna
you a deep dark secret, why would you go and tell your friend that?
hold on.
And if she open up to you and share with your friend, then that's her too. It is trellis, but it doesn't weigh the same. What
Man,
that
that's a
means to him and you are completely different is all we're saying. You can't say
Koshan,
this should weigh the same on a guy. It's completely different. You can't, you're women, we don't tell you
different.
how you should feel about a hurt.
Way different.
You're supposed to disagree, Trellis. You're a woman. We're telling you how men feel by this. So
stop for a
now
second.
you can't make a man feel a certain way about an incident because that's how you feel about the incident. Women don't feel that way about betrayal because women talk each
That
other's
was
business all the time.
cool. And then
Oh
share
my
again,
secrets all the
God,
time.
that is Koshan.
They share secrets all the time and tell this friend, that one's business. But men look at that as, hey, oh, if you're doing that, then I'm not opening up to you anymore. I cannot trust you. I'm not going to say things to you anymore.
hell
You
no,
can't just
tell
say,
him
Koshan.
oh,
But
it's
at the
just,
end of the day,
that's just rough. That's just the Russian in the relationship.
yeah, you disrupt the whole
hold on. Can
relationship.
y'all please
Yeah.
let can y'all
But that's how the men feel. You can't change what the
Yeah.
women feel differently. You want the men
Man,
to feel
that's
differently.
it don't work like that.
Koshan. Oh my God. Just trying to talk, y'all. Koshan.
But let me finish first. Just let me finish.
No, you're done because
You
at
can't
the
tell me when I'm
Hey,
done.
hey,
I
cool.
let y'all
Hey,
talk.
cool.
I let
Hey,
everybody
cool. Let her
speak.
talk. Just let her talk. Just
But
let her talk.
all I'm saying is, I let everybody
Right,
speak.
because they don't understand that. They don't
All I'm
understand. They
saying
don't
is,
understand what a real
you
man
can't
can.
make
You
a
sound
man
like
feel a certain way
Let
about
Koshan
something
finish,
because
please.
how you feel about it. That's all. What I'm saying is, if a man says this is the ultimate to me, right? You can't downplay what's the ultimate to him because it doesn't affect you that way. You experience it. It doesn't mean that to you. But whatever is most vital and most important to you, just like the ladies said about their love language, whatever was most important to them is the most important thing to them. You never heard any man get on here and say, oh no, that can't be important. But that's her level of importance. The same way when a man says, this is the ultimate sign of betrayal, this is important. You can't change it because it's not important to you to say, oh no,
it
you
fits their
shouldn't feel that
narrative.
way as a man. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. Y'all have the floor.
Okay. Can I say one?
Mm-hmm.
We have to be very careful with trying to weigh everything, right? This is not about weights. This is not about this weighs more and that weighs more. Because at the end of the day,
But it don't.
Betrayal. Listen to me for a second. I was trying, but you was keep talking. So what I'm saying is betrayal
This
is
Tavonna, right?
betrayal. Betrayal is betrayal. If you betray me and I betray you, both of them are betrayal. So, but what was being said was there should not be a thing where, oh, you did this, but I can't. That's not what it's
And
about. I don't, if your betrayal looks like telling secrets, that's fine. You had a betrayal. If my betrayal is something that looks different, it is still a
hey, but
betrayal.
But that's to
I
you,
mean,
And the
Savannah.
betrayal,
That's to
no,
you, not to the men.
no,
Y'all trying to make the
right,
men feel
right,
like
no.
you.
right, yeah, right,
Y'all trying to
Oh
make
my
the
God.
men feel like y'all. And we tell you
yeah.
No,
we feel that
We
way.
can't,
that
we
is
can't
not what I said. I give
because we
up
are
because
different.
that's
We are
not what I
different
said.
teams.
Yeah,
That's
y'all try. And I'm looking at what's being typed. What
I'm
everybody's
not.
saying.
I'm not looking at what's being typed.
Yeah,
I said what I just said, and you said
man,
that's not for
Yeah,
men.
you said you can't
Tavonna,
weigh
Betrayal,
it. The first thing you
Tavonna,
said is
but
you
you
cannot weigh it,
can't.
you can't weigh it.
Tavonna.
But we're
Hey,
saying that we do weigh it. So you can't tell us what we can and cannot do. You want the
what
men to
I'm
think like
saying is,
you.
no, that's not. Oh
Tavonna,
God.
let me ask you a question.
So,
How many women have stick in a relationship do they should never have cheating on them? Marriages, relationships, whatever. Okay.
several
So
women.
that's not equivalent to you telling or the female telling the male business when they in their bed at night and you telling your female a deep dark secret. How is that equivalent?
I listen to me.
That's
I'm
no
not talking.
equivalent. That's
Listen, y'all are.
yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah. What I'm saying is not based upon a situation, right? Y'all are talking about situational stuff. I said betrayal is betrayal. If there is a betrayal, there is a betrayal. Betrayal is not right. I don't care who do it.
right. It's not.
It's
It's not.
so at the end of the day, what I'm saying is a betrayal is a betrayal. Now, if
There's
you
levels
if
to
the
betrayal though. It's levels to that.
This is a man's point
no,
of view.
okay,
All of
listen,
men's plans
It's
should have a
levels to
different
that,
level.
man. Tell the mother, hey,
But
tell
y'all
her
keep
he can't fuck.
saying like the men
Tell
aren't
your
allowed
friend
to feel the
he
way they feel. You can't
tell
stop
then
him
hey,
guess
feeling the
what?
way he
yeah, tell
feels.
him shit like that.
Go ahead.
Sean,
Go ahead.
if y'all telling me that men are literally weighing betrayal differently, when
Yes.
just like she said, betrayal.
That is exactly what he is telling you.
That's exactly what
So,
I'm telling you. Yes.
listen to what I'm saying.
Go
Then
ahead.
at this moment, like, I guess ain't just the love language quiz we need to do first. We need to ask you what level of betrayal you feel is the worst, so we
And
can
that's
make
what
sure we
we've been
don't do
trying
it.
to tell you. That's all we've been trying to say to you.
Yeah, but listen, but then this is what y'all want us to do. But in the
No,
same
no, nobody ever made a request to women. We've never
no,
made
this is what
any
y'all. But
request to
this is
y'all.
what y'all are saying that we should do, basically.
Nobody here said it. We've never made any request to women. You all are saying it's all equal. And if y'all put up with this, we should put up with that. That's what the women have said. All of the men said from the very beginning is
So
betrayal.
it's safe to say. Oh, but listen. So
Mm-hmm.
just like when we said at the beginning, right? We all agreed that we may have many people show love to their significant other from the love language that they know, that they like, that they
Correct.
love, right? That's what we see. So is there a chance that I may be looking at what you think you may be looking at betrayal one way, I'm looking at betrayal another way, right?
Correct.
So how am I, like, why are you making me feel like you can no longer open up to me if I'm thinking me just talking to my friend who I trust about whatever is going on, and I
You
didn't know
think
that.
your friend will keep that a secret? You think your friend will keep no
I
secret?
don't, well, I know what kind of friends you got, but the friends I got, right, they keep secret.
Man, your friend got another friend.
My friend, no, and you're right. My friend got another friend, and if she tells that friend, most likely it's somebody who she trusts. I don't have messy friends,
So that's 3 people that know that secret, right? Three
right?
times 9.
And how much of your niggas know that you put your pee pee someplace else the night before? Cause you gotta
When
get
I
this.
hey,
That's not a
listen,
secret.
when I do something, I do it
Yeah, that's not a
alone.
secret.
Yeah,
Because you
when I do
scared, it's not a secret.
if I do something, I do it alone. I don't put my I don't put no friend in no business. I don't put no partner in no business. I don't do that. I do it alone because I don't even want them to know because then they can use it against me. If they want some of her, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all. Okay, so y'all
Yeah.
That's all we're saying is we view the situations
Yeah.
differently, and the women
Don't
want
be
us
telling
to
people
feel
when
the
I
way
do
they
stuff,
feel.
man. You can't do that.
All right, Trellis says, because
Yeah,
come on,
I agree,
Tavonna, you want to read Trellis's comment?
I agree. She ain't lying. That's exactly
Tavonna,
what y'all proving today. That's what
Tavonna,
y'all
please
proving.
read Trellis's comment for the listeners. They can't see what she's typing.
Hey, listen, I've forgiven women for the, I have forgiven women for some shit. I don't
Some
know what
snap.
Cool ever did, but I have forgiven women for some shit.
So
And
language.
I still love them the same. After I forgive them, I love them the same.
So Trellis says, I don't think so. Men want things to be forgiven, but if the same thing a woman does it is unforgiving, right? That's up to an individual, Trellis. But back to what we're saying is, we started off saying the ultimate betrayal, right? The ultimate betrayal. And what happens is this man will shut down. He's no longer sharing things with you. Once he sees that he cannot confide in you, he's no longer going to share with you. That's all we're saying.
A real man safe spot.
That's a man's right. That's his spot. If you're no longer his safe place, then he's going to find that safe place somewhere else, which is typically with someone else.
Thank you. And that's where it leads to cheating.
Now, and that things like that will lead to him talking to someone else, sharing information with someone else, and can go wherever. So
Wherever.
you all might not value talking a person's business. So you might not value that, but obviously men value it. And no, Tavonna, this has been on several episodes where we've had multiple guests from different areas. We had all the guys from New York and Texas and Louisiana. And every male, what did they say, Deborah? All of the men that were here through the past weeks, what did they say?
They did say that, keeping the secrets was the one thing that would be unforgivable. But if it's unforgivable, then that means you also can't stay. Like anything that someone does to you that you feel is just completely unforgivable, there's no need for you to stay there, especially if we're talking about a safe space. Because if you no longer trust me to be your safe space, then
Yeah,
there's
that's it.
absolutely no
That's dead.
way that
That's
you
done.
need to continue a relationship with me.
Yeah, that's dead.
Right. And I'm
But
not even
men
gonna
will
rush out that.
continue that relationship though.
I,
Can you
there you
regain
go.
that trust?
You can't. That's unforgivable.
Yes, you can, because here's the thing.
How you gonna forgive somebody that tell you
Hold
your
on.
deep, dark
Can you let me speak?
Okay.
Can you
Yes,
let me
go.
speak?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this, assuming that we even got there because of the fact that there wasn't great communication. Because if I never knew that that's something that would make you want to walk away from me, if I never knew that me confiding in my friend was something that would make you in this relationship or want to walk away from me or feel like you can't trust me, if I never knew that, then there should be that grace that is given. But if I continue to do it, then that's when I should no longer be your safe space. Now, if you
Not
have
because
already
I'll say
communicated that to me and I did it anyways, then that's different. But if I never knew it, and then it's not until I do it that I then come to know that this was an issue for you, then where's that level of grace that you can
so who's to
afford?
say that you want to do it again? When you
Deborah,
get mad again?
No, I agree with you, Deborah.
Listen, I'm
Deborah,
just saying.
Deborah,
Go ahead, Trellis.
Deborah, Deborah. I gotta ask you a question. How many deep, dark secrets do you think a man has? So if he shares his deepest, darkest secret with you, and you share that with somebody else, do you think you're gonna get another secret? Oh, that's probably the worst
No,
one ever.
no,
You don't have
listen,
to.
no,
You gonna get another
and listen,
chance?
I understand, I
Don't
understand.
ask for it. You can't get
Right, I
grace.
understand that, but you guys are
Yeah,
not
but that's our
like you
problem.
guys are not always saying like deep dark secrets. Like you guys are talking about my mom having cancer. This like those are not deep dark secrets. Like come on, man.
Hey,
It's a
listen.
man.
These
You
are
can't,
not deep dark secrets.
but it could be
So
some.
Sean, I'll say this, not to interrupt. I'll say this. The men that you know what, the last relationship I had this issue. He said, you talked about me to people and that's why I can't trust you.
Right.
Right?
Betrayal.
But
Yes.
you want to know what it was? You want to know what it was?
No, I don't want to know.
No, listen.
Because
No,
it
no,
felt
Yeah,
that
listen,
way to
you know,
him.
yeah. Cause, hey, cause
So
hey, listen.
it doesn't
let
matter
me
what it
finish.
was to me
Right,
Let me
because
that shit don't even matter.
it matters to him. So I really don't want to know because if that's how
Yeah,
he
right,
felt,
right, yeah, right.
well,
I can't change that.
I don't want to know. I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, see it. Hey, cool. Let her talk.
Well,
Cool.
we down in our last 30 seconds, y'all. I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Was.
2 hours went by super quick.
Don't want certain things to be said because it's going to taint their image. It was making
What
him look
Emma's
bad
do?
on the stuff that he did to me. So that's why he didn't want nobody to know because he didn't like the fact that
Listen,
everybody looked at him differently. So at the end of the day, and that I'm out here telling people that you once did 10 years because you robbed a bank. That's not what I did. You mad because I told somebody that you cheated on me and you hurt me. And because people thought we were the perfect couple, it
yeah.
made you look
Hey,
like,
baby.
dang, nigga, you
Hey, baby,
flat.
I just been in that same shit.
Well, I ain't going around telling people Pookie been in jail. Just see.
Right.